Okay, hi everybody. Karl and Samuel here at Escape. Today we want to talk about dates. More specifically, we want to talk about the range of dates we've been talking about over the past number of months. And this is all kind of lines up or syncs up with our plan this year to increase our escape velocity, so our production velocity or production increase through the year. And we've been working on that, and the early part of the year was good. We've slowed down a little bit now, but we're sort of gathering all our information and pushing forwards with a little bit more of an increase going forwards. Now, notwithstanding that, of course, we have had situations within our production schedule where people have cancelled their orders, either because they bought pre-owned escapes, or life has changed, or they've pushed out their dates, or they've simply bought themselves another trailer, a different type of trailer, because they didn't want to wait as long as potentially 2 years for their production. So that has created gaps in the schedule, and what we want to do now is, because we're far enough out that we can look at all of this, what we want to do now is take all the slack out of the schedule, roll everybody back, and look at giving all our customers the opportunity for a new guaranteed completion date. Guaranteed being the operative word here. Everything else we talk about when we talk about earliest possible completion dates and maybe dates and these other sort of earliest type of dates, none of those are guaranteed. They're all dates that we're kind of thinking, oh, if we do really well with our production ramp up, we can get some better dates for some folks. But we've hit the point now, we talked about this a few months ago, where we're going to reach out to all our customers and offer them different dates. Now, this only works from August onwards, August 2021 onwards. Everybody up until then is already all scheduled in, and there isn't really a tremendous amount of improvement we can do with those. And of course, because we're sort of compressing the schedule, the closer you are, like the beginning of August doesn't change. And really all the way through August, it changes by a couple of days, a few days, nothing significant for people. But as you work further and further out, getting into 2022 and then into 2023, it has a fairly significant impact for people. Yeah. So the numbers I've worked on so far are saying that we're just going to continue at our sort of guaranteed production rate. I think the production rate we are 100% comfortable with right now. And but the effect of that, the larger scale effect of that, is that people who are booking now and are in August or September, I think we just slipped into September of 2023, will roll back to March of 2023. Right, so that's a big improvement. And then everybody else is kind of it's kind of a scale where everyone else slides in between that. But what we did say to everybody was, we will not move your guaranteed completion date unless you have agreed to it in the first place. Yes. Right. So there's no gaming going on here. And that's what we're up to next, right? Completion date. So we'll keep talking about completion dates here for a little bit. We'll answer some questions. Samuel's prepared some questions for us on this, that sort of the regular questions he gets from people. Okay. Yeah.
Question that comes up is on storage.
Storage. So your storage starts on the date of your completion date. Okay. Now, typically we say it's because we've always been earlier in terms of building trailers, so we would have it finished before your completion date. But your storage will start on your completion date. We had a few hiccups here last year, especially in COVID and with some supply chain issues in the earlier part of last year, where we said, fair is fair. If your trailer is not finished, then really it's not complete. And if it's not complete, then your storage doesn't start. Which is fair and reasonable. But I think those situations are all cleared off now, and certainly going forwards, it's from your guaranteed completion date, whatever that is the date on which your free storage starts, and it's 1 month free storage as well. And that really, the purpose there is just give everyone time to get the delivery side of things organized and get the trailer out of the door here.
Okay, so in terms of planning for you to maybe take time off work or so, if you accept this new guaranteed completion date, that's what you would be planning for. And on our website we have a delivery form where you can let us know if you want to have this delivered or if you want to pick it up in Sumas and so on.
Yeah, yeah, that's the key thing, right? For folks is you know what your completion date is, and then sort of any time after that, within a month, you can sort of set your preferred delivery date. Now, bearing in mind, if you're taking a delivery to your location and it's going on the back of one of the trucks that we have, you know, that can move around a little bit timing wise, and especially when we hit the winters, it can move around with broken down trucks and snow and all those types of things. But you know, I must admit, these guys have been really good over the last year. We've only had one or two issues over the last year, and we had one issue, of course, when Texas went under snow.
Yeah.
This year as well. So that was mostly customer issues that we helped deal with and sort out.
Okay, so we will send you an email with a form, and we ask you to either reject or accept this new completion date.
Yeah.
So what happens if a customer decides to reject it, or maybe doesn't read the email and we don't get that feedback?
Yeah, no, it's totally fine, because at the end of the day, it is your choice to change the date that we have in there. And we already have a bunch of people who said, no, I want, there's a reason I picked that date, Karl, or Samuel, they normally come to you. There's a reason I picked that date, and I want to keep that date. And we're totally fine with that.
Yeah.
Just a majority of people want to go a little bit earlier, so we kind of follow that. Follow that approach, especially now with being such a huge demand on things. So the choice is yours, whether you want to stay with the date you originally have, or you want to take the date that we're now able to offer you. We're going to run this in cycles. So if you can imagine, there's if you don't take the date that's offered to you, then we're going to offer that date to somebody else, right? So that will fill things up. But we do know, as things progress, people are going to cancel out. So there will be other dates that are created in the system. So we'll just run this in cycles every sort of period, whether it's a month or 6 weeks, 2 months, depending on the rate of change that we see. And we'll include you again in the next cycle, because we all know that life situations change. Things aren't stable, so what you might think you want to do today it could change tomorrow, or your decision you made may change. And some people it might not, very specifically, but for others it may. So there'll always be more chances as we roll around here.
So that means that date that we offer you in the next cycle might be a different date.
Yeah.
Might be a later date than what you would have in the first round.
Yeah, it won't be later than your current date.
Yes.
But it'll be an earlier date, but obviously won't be the same date. And a good point to note here is, whatever your guaranteed completion date that you've agreed with us is, right, that is the date at which you're expected to pay for the trailer.
Yeah.
Right, at that point. And that's when your free storage starts.
Very good. Let's talk about confirmation of build sheets.
Very important. This is probably the most important aspect of what we're doing right now. You know, when you're sitting there and you're only thinking about yourself, then you know you're only thinking about one person and what you have to do. We have the enviable or unenviable position where we're looking at hundreds of folks. So we're trying to get this massive production schedule organized and get all our resources lined up to push ahead and get you confirmed, so we know what you want, so we can order it and have it in and get your trailer scheduled into the build. So configurations are really important for us to have the opportunity to push ahead and increase these production rates and get your trailer earlier. Then we need to configure you really, I'm going to say, as early as we possibly can at this point, right? And by doing that, we originally it was 3 months. Right, we wanted you confirmed 3 months in advance. Well, you know, when we have people all the way out now to 2023, and we're reaching out 6 months in advance for folks. You know, I had said we're not changing any of the options and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And especially now, because we're looking at everybody who's rolling back into 2021 for the 2021 pricing. So we may be reaching out to you a lot earlier than maybe you had anticipated to get you configured. We need this to happen. If at all possible, we need this to happen to have any chance of scheduling this all up and turning your trailer around earlier for you.
Now, if you are way in 2023, you will not be the first one to configure. What we do is we reach out to everyone in sequence. So we basically we send you a video, and we'll have a build sheet or similar to a build sheet with it. So we won't forget about you. So no panic. Well,
Yeah,
have you covered.
nobody ever gets forgotten about. We haven't had anybody ever get forgotten about, so that works very well. Harrison and I have created a couple of videos now, right? One is on all the base items that are in the trailer, right? I think it's a really important video, not something we ever had before. So it's great to have gotten this done now. So everyone can see what the base items are in the trailer, and that kind of sets your base of what's in this trailer, because all trailers can be different.
Yeah.
Escape trailers are generally all the same, but you know, if you're looking at different brands, it can all be quite different in terms of what the base items are. And we have a very well put together base item selection for you. So we put that together with all the descriptions and information on it, and then we also put together an options video. The options video, of course, takes you through all the options, and within that video we tell you what base items we've upgraded or standard features we've upgraded into those options for you. So I'll give you a lot of really good information about and detailed pictures, some video work that he's got in there around what these actually are.
Yeah.
These items are. And now what we've done, so if you were looking at our website, you know, a month ago or so that will be back in, gosh, where are we now? We're in May, so April, let's say March, April, if you haven't been with us since then, and you did your build your trailer tool in there, you will have seen all the options in just kind of one list. And really, I have to say, there was kind of no rhyme or reason to what that list was over the years. It just kind of continued to get populated. So we've taken that now and we've recategorized it and reorganized it so that I think it's a little bit more, no, actually, no, it's not. It's a lot more user-friendly. So you can kind of look at the kitchen area. I've taken it by sections. Okay, what's on the outside of the trailer? What customization do I want on the outside? What do I want on the inside of the kitchen area? What do I want in terms of interior customization? What do I want in terms of pure comfort? So we kind of broke it down into these categories, making things a lot easier to find and to review and then to select, I think, for folks. Yeah.
Very good. That is it on my side.
One more thing I want to talk about. One more thing I want to talk about. Now, as we move forwards, we want to configure you earlier. That's the first step. Get you configured earlier. So once we have you configured earlier, regardless of what your guaranteed completion date is, I need to create the optimal mix in the line, right? In my production line. When if you think about it, right, we've got these 6 different types of or configurations of trailer that we put through, or not really sizes, but configuration. We only have the 5 sizes. So different configurations that we put through. Sorry, 4 sizes. I'm not including the 23. So 4 sizes of trailer and 6 configurations. So you got the NE, 21NE, 21C, 17B, 17A.
Yeah.
Then the 19, the 5th wheel, don't have anything else in them. So when I put it through the production line, of course, I need to balance it out. Because the 5th wheel takes an awful lot more time than 17 takes to build. So I need to balance the line so everything moves at the same time. I need the opportunity to be able to sort of configure the line and build these trailers up, which means if I have your configuration early, I can get the stuff ordered early. I can potentially get your trailer in the production line earlier. Now, I'm not expecting you to, let's just say your guaranteed completion date is, let's pick a date. Let's pick the end of February 2022. Yeah. Right. And I'm like, oh man, I can get Samuel's trailer in here in December, early January. Let's just say December, coming out in early January. But Samuel doesn't want it till the end of February. That's the agreed date that Samuel has agreed to, is the end of February, whatever it is, whether it's guaranteed or it's the original or whatever it might be. Okay, it's perfect. Let's put Samuel's trailer in the build now, and he gets built in January. And I'm like, that's okay. I will build it up, get it all nice and kind of ready. It won't be PDI'd until you decide you want your delivery, but it'll be built. Yeah. I'll take it, I'll put it in storage. Right? It doesn't affect you in any way, shape or form. End of February comes, then you go, okay, good. Oh, my trailer's already built. Great. Of course, you will have gotten the photos a lot earlier too. Yeah. And then the expectation is when we hit your guaranteed completion date, you'll pay up and then you'll have your delivery arranged or your collection arranged at that point. So I need the opportunity to build your trailer earlier, but I'm not going to hold you to the fact that I've built it earlier. I'm not going to say, oh, no, I want you to come and get it earlier. It's like, no, we agreed the later date. We're going to stick to that later date.
So that is in addition to the new guaranteed completion date. Is that the understanding? So if I'm in February, but I'm actually provided a new guaranteed date and I accept that date.
Whatever date you have accepted is the date I'm going to is the date that you and I have agreed that is the date by which you're going to essentially collect your trailer or pay for your trailer, and then within that month you're going to collect whatever the guarantee the date is that we have agreed to. So pretend you were April 1st originally, and then we've done our exercise here, and I'm like, hey Samuel, I can have this ready for you on March 1st, right? And you're like, oh, that's great, I would like to take that guaranteed completion date. Great, we will modify it. This is now your new guaranteed completion date. I might go ahead and build it in January.
Very good.
But my expectation on you is 1st of March.
Perfect.
Not January. So I think that's fair and reasonable.
Very good. That concludes the questions that I have on this.
Okay.
So we're excited about the progress on the dates, and we hope it helps you. So if you have any questions, let us know.
So that's everything around guaranteed. Right now, that's the first thing we want to be very clear about, and only talk about guaranteed completion dates. Done. Earliest possible maybe completion date. So we've been throwing this out there to people. Some people get it, some people just don't get it. It's a tough one because we have a bunch of people who are, I like to understand the possibilities.
Yes.
And it's like, great, we will tell you what the possibilities are. And then we have a bunch of people who are like, don't tell me about the possibilities, only tell me about what you can actually do.
Right.
And I get both sides of that. So it's kind of a tough one for us to communicate to people. And then sometimes we have folks who get things mixed up. They think because we gave a date and we called it the earliest possible date, that is the guaranteed date. And I was like, no, it's not. It's not. And that's where we get stuck in this sort of...
So the earliest completion date reflects more our vision in terms of production increase.
What we hope to do.
Where we want to be.
What we hope to do. The way I kind of described it the other day was, you're driving to your destination, your friends, you're meeting up with some people, and you kind of look at Google Maps and it says, yep, I can get there in 3 hours, and we're leaving at 8 a.m. and we say, yep, I'll be there by 11. And then you're driving along and it says, oh, you might get there by 10:30. I'm like, oh, I might get there by 10:30 if I go a little faster.
Right.
And then you hit a roadblock or something, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to get there by 10:30, but I'll still definitely get there by 11.
Right.
Right. So that's kind of the difference between the two.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good. That everything on that one, Samuel?
That is it.
Okay, so quick wrap up here, folks. What we're going to do in the next week is send you an email, and that email will have your new guaranteed completion date. So it's like revision 1, where revision 0 was the original date you would have got. So this will be the next date. You have the choice to accept this or not. Doesn't make any difference to us. We will build your trailer anyways, and make sure it's ready for whichever date you decide to choose.
We do need your reply. If we don't hear from you, we will assume that you don't want that date, and we will stick with the original agreed completion date.
And this is where it's challenging, because some folks have unsubscribed, there are some folks have decided, or it may go into their junk mail and things. So it's a little bit more, can be a bit challenging. We don't have any other way of getting on to everybody. We have too many people to make phone calls to. It would just take forever if you can even get them. Right, because it's very challenging with folks in the US. I mean, they get a lot of spam calls, phone calls. So, a lot of time this stuff goes straight to voicemail. So we don't get the answers in any sort of timely manner. So, I think we're going to assume that if somebody hasn't responded to us, then they just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's the only thing we can assume. Okay, good.
And
That's
then
great.
there will be another revision to come down the road.
Yeah, further down the road, we'll continue this cycle and roll forwards. Okay, that might be a very lengthy explanation, but hopefully hopefully people understand it and we'll move on. This is very long form.
Yes.
What we're doing
in
here.
short, we try to build earlier for you.
In short, we will try to build earlier. Yeah, but now we know we have the guaranteed dates that we can definitely hit. All right, everyone, that's that part. All right, thanks everyone. Karl and Samuel here at Escape Trailer, and we are
Built for you.